Hello everyone and welcome to Film Express. I'm Aidan Tyus.
And I'm Olivine Papoto.
Coming up in today's Film Express, we'll talk about the most popular film from our audience.
Then we will talk more about this film with Jason, our film enthusiast.
Finally, we'll show you the technical part of the film behind the screen. Firstly, beginning with The Shape of Water, which has now become an Oscars award winner this year.
That's absolutely amazing to hear. It sounds great, to be honest. Although the film has had a lot of controversial topics about it, it still continued to sweep the entire of this year's Oscars award.
Well, how about last week? You been watching any films?
Good question, actually. Me and my friends and I were planning on going to watch, but we don't know which one we want to do. It's either The Red Sparrow, Black Panther, The Greatest Showman, or Coco. So, which one do you think?
Well, yeah, I think I've heard a lot about The Greatest Showman online, and apparently it's really good. A lot of people are really interested in the fantastic music choices, and of course the actors who are in the movie.
Ooh.
And then there's also Black Panther, the latest social media giant, which has swept across the internet. But I'd like to know which one stands out most to you, so let's go see what the audience thinks.
Sure.
Hello everyone, today we went to the city center of Preston. We will find out the latest and the most famous film through our interview. Let's begin!
I'd really like to see The Greatest Showman.
Red Sparrow, yeah.
Coco, the kids one, the kids film.
I think I would choose Coco.
Three Billboards.
Yeah, I've seen The Greatest Showman, probably Greatest Showman.
Red Sparrow, definitely.
Probably Black Panther.
Greatest Showman.
The Showman.
Black Panther. I actually want to watch that next week.
Black Panther, yeah.
Red Sparrow. Red Sparrow.
Yeah, Black Panther, definitely.
Probably The Greatest Showman.
The Great Showman.
Great Showman. I really like the actors in it and the genre. I really like the acting and singing.
I really like my Marvel film.
My girlfriend talks about it all the time.
Because it's Marvel, and think about it, it's like the first action film. Proper action based in a different culture. You know what I mean? Different culture. You know what I mean? It brings. Sorry to say, guys, it brings black people. You know what I mean? To a good.
Okay,
you know what I mean? It supports us, and you know what I mean? And the fact that it came out and it smashed the box office and everything is even a privilege.
Yeah, I like the fact.
I like it, the music's good, but I don't know about the storyline. There wasn't really much happening.
I'm doing Russian at the minute, and it's got a bit of an influence in the film, so I just think it'll be interesting as well to go and see.
I love myself a little musical.
Because I like musicals, I don't know. I just like them.
It's very grabbing to the audience. It's very attention grabbing, and it's got so much mystery and makes you think outside the box.
But I've heard that it's good from my friends.
Because it's more story, it's quite a nice movie. I like Coco better.
When she got taken to London and they were torturing her basically, and you were like, oh my god, she's never gonna get out of it, but she obviously did escape.
Probably the scene at the end when after the circus is all burnt down and everyone's sort of reconciling and they've sort of accepted everything that's happened.
Probably the beginning where he's trying to get the girl he marries to fall for him, and it convinces her dad and such.
His attitude, probably. The Greatest Showman's attitude. I can't remember his name. What's his name?
It were when they had everyone together, and it was just wonderful. It was a good thing. I enjoyed it. Everything was good.
Okay, through one day's interview, we can find out the famous and the latest film is The Greatest Showman. Do you want to know more about this film? Keep watching.
Well, that's definitely impressive. The Greatest Showman is the most famous one.
Yeah, The Greatest Showman is a 2017 musical drama directed by Michael Gracie in his directorial debut and starring none other than Hugh Jackman.
Of course.
The film story is inspired by P.T. Barnum's creation of the Barnum and Bailey Circus and the lives of its star attractions.
If you don't know already, Hugh Jackman is Logan in X-Men. I loved his character in it. It was absolutely nice, just on point. But of course, there is a different side in seeing Jackman here himself, so...
This was not the first time he participated in a musical, actually.
Yep.
He'd taken part in Miserable World in 2012 with Anne Hathaway. Very nice, very nice. So, very good couple. He was very talented in the opera genre and won 2 Tony Awards, and was responsible for singing the song in the movie. His body was still undergoing surgery in the movie, and so in order to get the Fox King of the circus, he sang this song within 48 hours of his operation. When the singing took place, his wounds collapsed.
Ooh, that is
so
so Wolverine, literally.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. For the song "This Is Me," the film won the Golden Globe Award for the Best Original Song, and was nominated for the 90th Academy Awards.
Wow, that just sounds good to me.
Yeah,
so
that's really good.
I can't
Very
say
impressive.
anymore.
Okay, so to get some more views of The Greatest Showman, let's welcome the guest who studied film for several years. Welcome, Jason. Hello, Jason, and welcome to our program.
Hello, I'm Jason.
Well, do welcome. And of course, to start off, I wanted to know, due to the research that we have done, The Greatest Showman currently is the most famous one. So what do you think of it? You know, the target audience for it. Do you like it yourself?
Yes, I like it. I think it's a successful musical drama film. This is a very approachable film. The film tells the story of an ordinary person who has solved many difficulties through his own efforts and finally succeeded. It's very suitable for people of all ages, but I think it's more suitable for young people. Perhaps they can also get more strength and motivation from this film.
So we found the comments quite extreme about this movie. So the people who liked it think it's an excellent film, and people who seem to dislike it seem it's like the worst film ever. So what are your opinions on that?
I know this. I think 1,000 people have 1,000 Hamlet in their hearts. I believe that everyone sees different things. People who like the film love the grand scene and music. People who don't love it because it's conventional. People always encounter various difficulties on the road to success, but also need to make choices in money or career and love. The old-fashioned routines were rapidly performed by different actors on the big screen.
So you said you liked the film. So what do you like about it?
Well, in my mind, this film is almost a true story. You know, everyone can have a different story. But not everyone is P.T. Barnum. In this film, P.T. Barnum is a hero, but he also has both good and evil. It's actually more true.
Oh, okay. So what do you think has attracted more audiences to watch this film?
Back to the saying of this film, it's a musical drama film. The sense and the music of this film are excellent, as well as the narrative of the story, the performance of characters, and the excellence of all aspects. This is a successful film can be achieved. Like me, when I first watched this film, I saw it was beautiful. I was totally attracted by the circus scenes and the music. When I thought about the deeper meaning of this film, I thought I should watch it again. So I went to the cinema again. It's not a simple musical film. The reasoning behind it also attracts audiences.
So what is the most attractive part of this musical to you? And why do you think?
I don't want to show more detail to you. I hope audience can watch the film in the cinema. But a part made me think a lot after watching. I can share with you. Do you know the song "This Is Me"? This is the most famous song in The Greatest Showman. In the film, a group of people sing this song. These people are different from ordinary people. Most of them are born with defects. They are often laughed at people, but they still bravely stand on the stage and sing "This Is Me." When I saw that scene, I was deeply moved. When you watch that, you can get my feeling.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Jason, for joining us. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Well, I definitely understand the film more, especially for the importance of the sound and the cinematography, of course. I'm curious about how the masterpiece has actually been done and how just the creative side of it has been done, really.
Yeah, I definitely understand. I'm curious too, so let's get to know from Bob's explanation.
It's a little more, the music particularly, is more modern. And more of the now than in traditional musicals.
This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be, this is me.
There's a very similar film, in fact, the same era, the same show business, which is called Moulin Rouge by Baz Luhrmann. It's set in the same, it's in Paris, it's French, it's all these kind of, it's very, very similar. But different from the Baz Luhrmann film, The Showman seems to have everything composed specifically for the movie by a very talented couple of people. So, and I think the performance of the music is very, very strong in this film.
Tell me, do you wanna go where it's covered in all the color lights, where the runaways are running the night, impossible comes true, it's taking over you.
Scenes are big and wide. There's many people dancing and singing and making movement, which means the camera stays wide. That makes it very, very difficult to capture sound. So what people would do is they would use something like this to put it in the room and capture the whole room, which sounds very, it's very natural, but it doesn't sound like big movie sound. It's just what you hear in the room. My feeling from what I've seen is that they recorded with little radio mics like this one, or with boom mics from a distance, but then replaced the sound completely. I have a little example here. If I show you. This is from the, at the time they were pitching the movie, so this is a recording of the theme tune of this movie when they were pitching to the executives and you can hear a little bit of that and you can see what actually happened there. And here you can see there's one microphone there, similar to this one, recording the whole scene. There's a couple of background mics, but generally speaking, and it's all about a performance at this point, right? Now, in the final film, the scene looks very, very different. And this is the original sound back from the original. And obviously you get a completely different feel once the sound is being transported into the movie and cleaned up and produced properly, you know. But my feeling is that by having those big scenes all the time, plus one big difficulty in musicals is playback. In order for the people to dance and sing, they have to play the music really loud. So even people wearing a microphone like this, the music will always come into it. So you can never use the sound. So in the studio, people will have to, whatever people are saying, will have to be replaced. So this is quite tricky in terms of sound design. You have to combine musical performance and musical mixing with film sound design and dialogue editing and ADR, which is quite a difficult thing to do. And I think they've done it really well.
Oh, now that's cool. Now I know why people are attracted by The Greatest Showman. The process of recording and post-production is difficult, but it does look professional, so we can get a lot of great results from it.
Yeah, there's actually a little dramatic event about the movie. It had a budget of around $80 million and was released during Christmas. At first there were negative reviews and from critics, and it only sold 8.8 million tickets, which isn't that much. But dramatically, by the end of the second week, the film actually went out the ordinary and soared to $15 million on the box office. The IMDb score was also high at 8.0. In terms of musicals, it also caught up to La La Land, which was famous from last year, which is also a very good movie.
Yeah, and obviously I noticed that Benji Pasek and Justin Paolo, the musician of this film, were also the musician for La La Land. This must be they're just geniuses.
So maybe that's why people wanted to watch the film and pay for it that badly.
You know what, should we just get going? Should we just go?
We'll just go watch the film.
Yeah,
now.
we'll just go watch it.
Well, we can't really do that. We've got some work to do, you know.
You know what, yeah? Thank you for joining us. And, well, we'll obviously appreciate the fact that you guys were here with us to read on about this news.
Yeah, if you've seen any films in the past week and want us to talk about them, just send them in and we may talk about them next week.
Yep, so until next time, thank you so much for tuning in. See you.
Goodbye.